This video is about ayahuasca and a little bit about how to interpret or how not to interpret things that happen in an ayahuasca ceremony. And this video is about interpreting the messages that you get from ayahuasca. Now, any psychedelic can make you feel like you are receiving messages, and we could debate forever on where those messages come from. But ayahuasca kind of takes it to another level, in my experience. And the messages are really profound a lot of times, but we don't need to accept them all, and we do need to have a little filter. And it is tempting to kind of mythologize, and you see it happening a lot with people who do a lot of ayahuasca, that they kind of mythologize. They get this message and they just go charging forward. For example, you might get a message that the person sitting next to you in your ceremony is your future life partner and that it has been destined. And you may see so clearly how this is a fact. And you might have tears of, that come along with having an epiphany or something. And maybe nothing at all happens with that person. Maybe they don't even want to talk to you after the ceremony. And maybe they certainly don't want to talk to you when you tell them what your message was and how they're supposed to be your soulmate for life and whatever, right? And I'm not saying that that kind of message couldn't be true. And I'm also not saying that there aren't levels of truth. For example, in this situation, I know of a couple where both people got that same message and they ended up in a relationship. And that relationship did not last forever. Now, let's say if that was a true message and they ended up in the relationship, and so was ayahuasca wrong telling them this? Or was there another motivation? See, a lot of times these kind of messages are given to you so that you can have one shift of energy, one realization. And that realization might happen after being in a 5-year relationship with a person where you both got that message. And, it can happen in a million ways, but it's really important to stay open and not take it literally and understand. Like if I say, go to the corner and then turn right, that's not an eternal message. Because if you keep going up to the next corner and turning right, you're going to be going in circles. And so that message just applies to this next corner. After that, you're on your own. And a lot of ayahuasca messages are like that. Another thing is to realize that you are the filter of the ayahuasca messages. So your filter might be a little clogged. And if that's the case, the messages might be a little off. And So, you have to look at it. Were you lusting after that person that you're sitting next to in the ceremony? And then ayahuasca just happened to tell you, oh, yeah, that's your future life partner. That is your soulmate. You have lived many lifetimes together and you are destined to live this one together. Could that just be the filter of your own attraction at work combined with a psychedelic substance? Yeah, it totally could. So, we want to grasp for truth. We want to grasp for divine messages. And truth exists, and divine messages do exist. But it's really important to not take your ayahuasca messages at face value without any kind of healthy skepticism. So I would recommend that you think about that if you do ayahuasca, and if you are trying to figure out what's up with the messages afterwards. And I do psychiatric. No, I do not do psychiatric. I do psychedelic integration work with many clients. And this is something that I deal with a lot, this whole idea of the messages. And so, even though I think ayahuasca is an amazing tool, and the messages can be so profound that that was not your brain, and it's one of the most amazing things that happens in ayahuasca ceremonies, it's also important to stay grounded and not go off the deep end following these messages, right? Just, little pause. And also just take the messages in on an energy level more than a word level. Now, how would you do that with this is your soulmate, whatever? Well, just feel love for your fellow human being. Be in the energy of that love. Be in the energy of everybody as my soulmate. And trust that if they are your soulmate, it's going to happen. Just stay in that beautiful energy and let what unfolds unfold. And then the messages from ayahuasca can come through in different ways, in non-verbal ways, and your connection to spirit can grow, because what ayahuasca is doing in general is removing the blockages between you and your true self. And getting lost in messages and making plans for how you're going to change your whole life according to these messages, a lot of times is just a distraction from what's really going on. Something to think about. If you'd like to book a phone session for counseling around this, if you want to integrate a previous trip ceremony, or if you want to get some work on setting intentions for an upcoming one, you can go to my website, andysway.com. Just click on psychedelic integration, and you can set that up. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, please like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day.